I'm Roger from Evannex. In this video, we're going to be talking about the installation of one of our Evannex vinyl kits. We have vinyl kits that focus on both the exterior and interior of Model 3. Our intent, of course, is to allow you to improve the look of the car and make it your own. Before we begin our installation work, it's important that you have the household tools that you'll need to get the job done. Applying vinyl to the door control surfaces is a relatively straightforward process. We'll begin with the driver's side main window control area, and that's this vinyl applique right here. So we're going to pull it off of our sheet, and then again we work downward. Now I want to emphasize we have to begin by carefully cleaning the entire surface so that it's dust, dirt, and grease free. We begin by focusing on the two edges at the rear here and the side of the door control. We still have a little bit of area to show, so again we pull it off to get our fit just right. We then pull backwards across the entire side of the door control. We will smooth and fit in a couple of moments. We do the same thing over here, being sure that we hit the door control right up to the edge of the Alcantara leather surface. That guy came off a little bit, so we're going to pull it off and pull it in like this. We can, if we choose with this surface, to use our squeegee to force the vinyl in and under the door controls so that there's no problem. We can do the same thing here to give ourselves a nice rounded surface. As you can see, we wrap the door controls around the back in here. Make sure everything is smooth. We don't use a squeegee so much for smoothing as we do for forcing edges around corners so that everything works. And we have our first door control cover installed. In this case, we're going to center using the button cutout, which has been precisely defined so that it will in fact cut out nicely. This does require some patience. It is iterative, there's no question about it, but the bottom line is that once we get it in the proper location, we just spread it through, pull it through I should say, and wrap it around, and we have the door control surface basically installed. Now what we have to do is take our squeegee, force in the edges so that in fact we have a nice fit, as you can see. Work up and down using both our finger and the squeegee to get the vinyl into a proper position, as we've done here, being sure it's wrapped around. You can, if you choose, use a hair dryer to make the vinyl somewhat more flexible, but it's not absolutely essential. We line everything up using the window control button as our center, but also aligning to the bottom and sides. If things don't fit, as you'll notice right there, I got a little bit aggressive. We simply remove the vinyl and replace it using our finger to carefully smooth it so that we don't run into wrinkles or air bubbles. We use our finger, as you see here, to simply smooth it right to the edge, wrap it around and down across the back. Okay. and use our fingernail to smooth into the corners. We can also use our fingers or a squeegee to properly align everything, rounding the corners as we go. Here there's a small air bubble, so we're going to have to smooth out here with our finger carefully. You have to be careful. Air bubbles can and do appear, so it's very important that we smooth to remove them. Here we center on the door control button and work up into the appropriate surfaces, making sure that we have properly caught all of the edges. If we have not, we simply pull it off, put it back down again. We can use our trusty squeegee to edge the surfaces, making sure that we push them in and under so that we have a nice rounded look. Being absolutely certain that all air bubbles and wrinkles are removed. If for some reason you don't like it, pull it off and redo it. We can use our fingernail to edge around the door control surface. The door controller will open with no problem, and we are good to go. We're now ready to install the passenger side front window control surface. So again, we take our piece off, be sure the surface is very clean, and then align the controller space with the edges on all sides here, as you can see, in the back and on the sides, making sure we remove any wrinkles or air bubbles. As I've said many times now, you can very easily pull it up, put it back down until you get a smooth surface. Patience is key. Not settling is key. We can then use our squeegee, if we like, to round off the corners. You have to be careful. And there we go. We now have a fully installed We're now ready to install the door controller surface on the passenger side front door. Again, this is a very small piece. We line it up with the control button as best we can, making sure, again, as we always are sure, to remove any wrinkles and or air bubbles that might occur in the surface. This one does require a number of iterations until we get it just right, but we smooth it out gently, wrap it around the bottom edge, move up the door carefully and slowly, using our finger and fingernail to help guide us. And ultimately, we're in very good shape. We still have a little bit of a wrinkle there, so we pull it up, push it down, use our squeegee very gently to push the corners in, being sure not to scuff the surface. We now have a fully covered door controller on the front side passenger door.